Hi.
You scared?
Hi. Hi, everyone. And your dog is there as well, just barking.
Yeah, he got. Actually, let me get him in so he doesn't bother during the stream.
uh, how is everybody? Hello. Hi. We already have the first question by Afa, but we'll get to that in a second. Mm. And there is. You're already on fire here. Hello, hello.
Hello.
How is everyone? How are you, Santiago? How was your
I'm
weekend?
doing great. A little bit sick, but besides that, pretty good.
Hope anyone, everyone enjoyed their Thanksgiving weekend in the U.S. Probably still in some kind of a coma. um, yeah,
We don't
Ibrew
celebrate.
is playing our planet. I couldn't get into it, but I think it's really cool that they're back. So I don't know. Is that final? What's final? Is that final in the server or is that I don't know, but
Oh, it's so stressful to be playing those games. I promise. It's very stressful, but I love it.
I've never gotten into our planet or whatever alien worlds or whatever for
Have you
real.
played Travian?
Yeah, back in the day,
It's
um,
very similar. It's almost the same as Travian. That's why I love it.
I loved Travian, Travian, but they back then I used to play that in like 2010, 2011, and in 2012 actually because I was playing that with my brother. My brother and I went to Ukraine for the European Cup, right, in
Holy.
soccer, football, right,
Okay.
and so we were playing from the same mobile hotspot, right? Because then back then you didn't do roaming, you basically just bought a SIM card and so on. And they banned us for multi-accounting from the same IP.
Oh, no way.
No appeals. We had
So
played for like 2 years, and because we were using the same IP, we suddenly, after 2 years, you suddenly get banned.
there's
It's
no
like
way.
never touch that game again. It's crazy.
So I don't know. I played when I was 12 or 8. I don't remember. But I don't know how I got my clan into the top one of the Forex server in that time. And we were the best clan in the server. I actually, when the wonders came out and the artifacts came out, I managed to get 2 artifacts. And then my second in command, he betrayed me. So within 12 hours, I lost everything. But I lost everything. I,
Hmm.
I cannot remember a moment I have been more tilted in my life. So I left the game and I haven't played it since.
Yeah,
That was my canon moment.
it was very easy before Travian. Actually, in the 2000s, I played O Game, which was like a space version of Travian. With much more minimalistic graphic. So that was the first time I got hooked into an MMO strategy browser game, and then Travian, and then ever since I didn't touch that stuff because you
It
end up
takes time
losing everything anyway.
and it consumes a lot of time.
Um, I'm wondering why so few people know about our planet, or what's the difficulty here? Why isn't this played by more people? Because I mean, 50,000 prize pool obviously sounds very impressive, and there was some traction on kind of the market and with the tokens and whatnot, but not so much. So do you think that's kind of a spread the word kind of thing, or is that because you could only really compete if you were a whale, kind of on our planet NFT and
Not
token
really.
whale before, or like what's going on?
So
Why is this 300 people and not even filled up?
marketing, I mean, the only response to that is marketing was done wrong in a sense. So if you have a 50K price pool, then you will have done a, you need to do a better marketing campaign for it. I barely saw the campaign that the guys had, in my personal opinion. So maybe I was not the target audience, but in that case, who was it? Because I didn't see it. If it was targeting normal players, well, it wasn't achieved in that way. So maybe if you got a 50K price pool, maybe do it 40K and spend 10 more K into the marketing, because it will have been great. I mean, the game and the product is very good. And even the onboarding is easier because it is an app on the App Store. You don't really need a Wax wallet or anything close to that. So it's pretty easy. It's sad because I like the product that they have. I hope they can get more people with time.
Yeah, it's crazy because back in, I mean, I don't know about the mobile app. This doesn't seem to have a lot of downloads, but back in the day in like 2021, when anything on Wax was big, obviously, um, it seemed like it was more popular overall.
The first server was pretty fun. There were a lot of players, but then it has been declining. I mean, it also goes along with the thing that they didn't release much in the last 5 months, and then they came back with the announcement of the tournament, but maybe they didn't take enough time to announce the tournament starting and so on. Because I didn't join. I would have loved to join the tournament, but I didn't do it because I didn't
You
see
get
it.
other things to do though, right?
Yeah, I got I got a lot of work to do actually. But it's always good to support the community. I mean, that's why we're here, actually.
Yeah, like Anzi is busy blending and burning airworm basins. That's a thing
Oh,
now.
Ask is already doing it? Oh, sure, it is live already.
So before we already have a few questions there. Before we get into those, um,
So Ansi told me that I don't know if Ansi is he or she.
they
They.
in case of doubt.
Well,
Um,
Ansi told me that
so
they must have the worst lag in history.
just
So
this is really odd that people are still getting emails. This seems to be really an issue with the email service that we're using with the promo service because I asked Juan, our colleague, about this last week again, and he said he can't find it. Right, it's not there anymore. So I don't know why. This sounds like false advertising for sure, or maybe there's some imposter there. I don't know. It's this is really look. She's a she. Mm, but this is really bad. So we'll have to dig into that a little
yeah, we
more.
should remove it.
Yeah, well, it is removed.
I mean, yes, I don't know why people keep getting it. Or maybe it is people that didn't notice the first mail that was sent.
Um, okay.
Pop up in one but up. Okay,
So
I'll take note.
we use the same service, so something's got to be wrong with it. I don't know. Maybe we need to shut it down, but it's crazy. Um, yeah, I mean we've been hearing about this for now I think 2 or 3 weeks that people are still getting those. And we haven't been able to shut them down yet, but that's really weird. Anyway, so Santiago, before we get into the questions, and now there's more discussions. Um, what's going on today? What started today? What's
So today, my dog, even though he's inside, he keeps barking. Give me a second.
give him give him something to chew on,
He's the most picky dog in existence. So I have two
like a
dogs. One
meatworm
of them,
basho or something.
a mid-one patient. So first, we have the blend coming out, and it is already live. The golden key blend and the eucalyptus blend. So how can you achieve it? First, the eucalyptus blend, you will need an air bombation and 10 wombat. So if you have 10 wombat in your pocket, then you can use it. And for the air bombation, how can you obtain it? That's very easy. We have introduced it in the store. So we introduced two new items in the store. The first one is the air bombation, which costs 1k iron, 10k gold, and 10 wombat. So you can already start going to the shop, getting your combinations, and start planning. So there's one in 2,000 chance of getting it. So you should hurry or start trying it out. And the second one is the Woofy Ruffle.
So hang on a second. So the first one is the one that we do every season, right? Which is the. Can you switch off your notifications?
Yeah,
We
so
cannot hear them.
that's why I was getting lost. Give me a second. Arthur is keep sending me stuff. Okay.
Um, so that's the golden key blend, and instead of fragments, because everyone has been asking for the last 2 seasons, we've been using fragments. This time we're not using fragments. This time we're using air wombations at the higher probability overall. So Anzi is already on it, and you can basically just keep trying to get the eucalyptus wombatium. I think that this should be a little bit faster than last time. Getting rid of those, and because we've been asked, kind of, what we're supposed to do with all the iron and coal, right? Now you know. Now you know what you can do with all of your iron and coal. It's
So
really good
also I
for.
wanted to show you a little sneak peek. I already told them in the chat with the product manager, but we were working on
What's
a
this?
special. It's what do you think? It's an Overlord Wombat.
Oh,
It's the
this is an
prototype of the Overlord Wombat. What do you think? What do you think, guys? Do you like it? Do you think it should look more evil? Is that not as a wombat?
for sure. It looks like mad.
Do you think it looks like a map?
Yeah. Imagine Matt had this kind of outfit and would hold a little bit of fire in his hand. Can totally imagine.
So this is a little sneak peek of what we plan to give as a non-tradable NFT to the
So
Overlord.
that the overlords will actually be marked from now on.
Yes. So they will have like this recognition in their wallet as the Overlords of each season. We should also give it a little mining power. I'm not sure. We haven't discussed about it. What do you think will be a fair mining power for it?
I don't think there should be mining power for it.
You don't really.
There's enough benefits for the
I
overlord
think there
already.
should be one mining power. I mean, a little bit.
One.
Yes,
Yeah, okay,
but
one.
one.
One MP is good.
One sounds great. But yeah, overall, that's what we have been working on as well for the Overlord.
So okay, we got the air wombatium stuff, and
Negative
then
500 MP.
forever. What else? Yeah.
Woofy blend.
Woofy. Okay, let me pull this up, because this is a little more complex, right? So there's.
We haven't done the announcement about it.
We
So
haven't.
I see the guys pushed the announcement for the key blend, and they haven't sent the announcement for the Woofy ruffle.
So we have a new woofle, and people are already blending it, and this is big, right? It's bigger than the last one in terms of how much woof you can get. So tell us all about it.
So first, we're bringing back the waffle, as everyone knows, but taking a look at the last poll that we did about the clan invasions, I was surprised that the mining power wasn't increased, and also that the max level increase wasn't achieved. So actually, the the Wombat champions will remain as we said they will. So we needed a new use case because we need to give some use case to the clan invasions. So we have this waffle. This new waffle, you will be able to use it by blending any type of gem. If you want to use a perfect gem, you're welcome. But you also have to use a Woofy Invasion. Since there are not many Woofy Invasions in circulation, we need to reintroduce the Woofy Invasion. Maybe you can show up the blend, Adrian.
Yep. So this time we don't do a drop, we do a blend, right?
Yes.
And that's just an example for it.
So how can you obtain the Woofy Invasion? You need to use the Atomic Invasion, any two Mob Invasions, and 200k Wolf.
Two of the same, right?
Yes, two of the same. You have to support and have conviction with one of the clans. Otherwise, it is hard.
I mean, you can obviously blend this blend, and
I mean,
then you
that's
can
why it
blend
is a clan.
the same with red and the same with blue as well. But yeah.
I mean, overall, if you're using that blend, you're helping that clan.
So let's see. 20. Let's do a little challenge here.
Actually, I just realized something we must need to change. But yeah, it's okay. Do you
Let's do a
want to?
little challenge here because we have 23 blended on the yellow so far. We have, let's check. We have 16 blended on the red, and we have 30 blended on the blue. So blue is taking this over, which I find extremely surprising actually, because it's right now it's cheaper to do the blend with the red um, Wombatium than with the others, right? Because this is where right now let's briefly take a look at these Wombatiums, right? So this is 3 cents cheaper if you get it from like RODC tokens. So it's I think it's a little bit funny that
So
this is the blended, this is used the least. So what's going
Red,
on?
Red,
What's the difference?
Red Scorpion already got 20 million.
This keeps happening, right? We're like, why does the we only had 26 of the blends, and we already have the first 20. Well, okay, that's okay then,
Uh,
right? So
I mean,
that's
yes,
the expect
but
that would be expected. You have one of these. Hmm.
I mean, congratulations. I just think it is funny that the RNG keeps doing this stuff.
No, but that's fine. That's expected, right? That in 26 tries, you would have one 20 million outcome.
Okay, true.
If it was the 100 million, then we could, in that case, we could complain. But this is pretty much, yeah, this is pretty much straightforward.
Like with
So
the
yeah,
perfect diamond.
let's have some fun with those Woofy Wombations and um, the Clan Wombations and whatnot, right? So
And since,
obviously have some fun with gems.
let's see how many blends that Sansi has tried for the Eucalyptus One Vision.
Each air Wombation blend is consuming so much transaction resources, maybe 5. Can we do? Um, we do have
We have a
a
bulk. Yes,
we have a bulk blend for the
you can use 10 of them.
so that's the bulk, right? That uses 10. So that's what we typically had.
Beantown has tried, Ansi has tried. A lot of people are trying
Trying what? The Woofle?
the Air One Vision blend.
Yeah, that's for sure. So it's good. Get rid of all of your iron and why? Iron and coal.
So I'm going to get ahead and just answer this question. So can we still buy gem packs, or is it only secondary market now? So if you head over, maybe Adrian, can you show them? If you head over to the collection Dungeon Gems X or Dungeon Master Gems, you will see that the drop is live and the drop is unlimited. Maybe we will change it in the future, but for now we don't have any plans to do so.
Yes. Will there be a blend coming for Catwombation? So, because I think somebody who was that also asked about, yes, you still get your free transactions daily. Exactly. Kevin is so right. Get rid of your iron coal, and then we release something, a limited time blend that needs a lot of coal and iron. Of course, that's what like for seasons and seasons, people have been complaining about having too much iron and coal. So we need to do something about it, right?
Need to burn it.
So Coins for Vince is commenting on the mob Wombatiums. But what I wanted to say was we should do some kind of challenge that the mob that wins that has the most blends on the Woofy Wombatium will do something with those Wombatiums. We'll hand out 10 of these Wombatiums at the end of the stream, or some mob tokens or whatever. Like, do you have an idea? Because I want to do these challenges. I want people to. I want gamification in this stuff.
You heard him, Blue Muff. Not sure yet. Let me think about it.
There was another question: what we do with those woof from those blends? So maybe we could hand, I don't know, the I don't know, like a few million wolf to the most successful clan here, or we literally just buy back and burn the mob token, like we did a few weeks ago. I did that from my personal account, like 100 wax worth of this ended up being blue whale, and maybe we do something like that again. I don't know.
That's very important feedback from Bintown.
Yes, with stuff like the air wombation right now, this gets really annoying, right? If you have to click and do it one by one.
Let me see if no, we cannot do it. I was trying to check if we could set up like at the store the amount of them that you can get.
What happens to the mob tokens that's received from the team? Well, we own them, right? So obviously, we want to be whales. We as Spielworks, we want to be whales in those tokens, so that we can work with them, right? We're not going to dump them. Obviously.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they are concerned that you're going to dump them to buy Christmas presents.
That's what I always do. I mean, if you look at my personal account, I keep buying those, right? So I'm one of the biggest holders for all three of them, and I'm also one of the biggest LPs for all three of them. So I'm not dumping them, and I want those to succeed, right? So same goes for the company. That's also why we're burning a portion of the proceeds, so that there's some burning activity going on. We also limited the supply of those initial drops to 2,000 because we didn't know where the price would for the mob tokens would go, but we will keep issuing them, right? So we'll have to think about good ways of dealing with those tokens as well at some point.
So
but
it was funny because I was checking the chat today and they were talking already about the plan for the waffle, and they were saying, yeah, but they are only a couple gems that are under 20 wax right now in the market, and then they check and it was you. Like, oh, Super Grinch is the one selling the gems at less than 20.
Maybe there's a reason. Hey, look. No, I think there should be. That's what you've been saying to me as well, Santiago. Is there's too little liquidity for these gems, right?
Yes.
So I keep buying packs, opening packs, and putting all my gems on the market for like reasonable prices. So there's liquidity in there. Everyone should be doing this because there's benefit for everyone if there's more liquidity. So yeah, I'm an ILP all kinds of things. So
Good.
so yeah,
we need to find more use cases to burn coal.
Well, just do what we are just doing, right? Basically, people like set up a wombation, and then make it 50,000 coal, right? Because in the math that we've been doing, we realized also that coal pretty much doesn't make any difference in whether or not anything costs 1,000 or 10,000 coal. Pretty much makes no difference in how many of these are issued, what the price of these are. So the marginal value of coal seems to be very close to zero. That needs to change, right? So
Exactly.
just create something that then goes into the woofle, into the next woofle or whatever, that costs 100,000 coal, right? I bet you this is going to stop at some point.
So, Ansi, I need to give you some motivation. This is your motivation. You will receive this amazing one, but maybe we will change the eyes because I don't like them at all. But you will receive this amazing one. But
the ice needs to be more evil.
right? I also think they need to be more evil. Coal is pretty pointless currently. So
Currently. Exactly.
maybe we could do like a Christmas event in which you have to get a shop item with gold, so you have to give it to Santa.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I am at 60 years so far, same result as you. Scary
I mean,
eyes
it's
for
a
me.
one in two. It's a 1 in 2,000. So what do you expect, really?
I can be paid to buy all these items from the shop if you don't like to click.
Um, there's no lucked out. Nothing got lost. It's we have started the questions, and we just first wanted to talk about the stuff that's basically happening as we speak. But yeah, we should probably get into these questions. Um, so let's start with it states 1 in 200. That's for the bulk, right?
Yes,
But for the 1 in 200, so you spend 10 airs, 10 air wombations to get a 1 in 200 chance, right? That's what it does. That's
because the
exactly what
original
it
one
does.
is 1 in 2000. So if you use 10, then it is 1 in 200.
Yeah. sorry, sorry for laughing at this, but um, Adrian, you have no idea how much it hurts when your reasonably priced gems fail to blend, especially at flawless to perfect, speaking from
Oof.
experience. We wanted to make it deliberately risky to try and get the super high grade gems, right? But we were also thinking about creating a way to avoid the ambiguity, to avoid the risk, right? Because that's what you do in games, right? You have a way that's risky, and then if you want to avoid that, that will have to come at additional something that makes this less tickly, but tickly in a different way, then, right?
Yes.
Um, okay, wow, we're half an hour into the stream and we haven't answered a single question. I'm proud.
Are you
Because it's the
avoiding
tavern,
something?
right? It's not called AMA or Q&A. It's called the tavern. So we're having a discussion here, right?
So just before we start with the questions, gems related, we already surpassed the 1,000 blends attempts, even more. So that's great. The most blended gem has been the emerald with
Yeah, it's the
289. No,
cheapest one.
yeah, with 500 blends. That's a lot.
Um, Another thing, gem related. Are people actually using gems to upgrade their items as well, or,
Not a
or
lot.
just for the fun of it?
Not a lot actually. I have been checking to them. Maybe less than 20 upgrades so far.
But they're still fun. So, um, whenever I sell a few, I always buy new packs. So what can I
We
do,
we
right?
should introduce the poll after the season ends to see if we can get the legacy items, like I like to call them, available to be upgraded with gems.
Do you think that's going to end like the Mob Wombatium upgrade, Paul?
So far, I don't know what to expect because the first poll that you introduced was the one to increase the MP of the Wombat Miner, and it passed. Then we have done a couple more polls, and usually, you do not behave how you expect you to behave, guys.
It's
So
it's funny because I told Santiago that I don't think it's worth doing votes where you know the outcome,
yeah.
right? And now, well, surprise.
I mean, that's why we did the poll. I mean, it's good, even if they are small decisions. Then that's why you also get the community involved. So
But that would speak against what Kevin Kev is saying, right? That the whales should always want to have bigger impact, bigger max effect of these things.
That's so interesting and so related to what has been happening to Jupiter. Have you seen what is happening with Job? The poll that they have been doing?
You were showing me, but I didn't read into it for sure.
So,
Like
long
for
story
real.
short, a Jupe plan. I mean, the plan for Jupe originally was to host two more airdrops, one on January of the next year and one on the next year, on 2026, in which they airdrop tokens to their users. And it is called Jupeari. But recently, people have been complaining that, mostly whales have been complaining that they do not want this airdrop to happen. So they did a governance poll, and the results are pretty interesting because even though 86% of the people that voted that they want this airdrop, the proposal didn't pass because it needed a 70% approval for it. So the 14% of people that voted no were whales. So the voting didn't pass, and the joke team will have to rework the proposal until it passes. But it just shows how maybe we are still a little bit behind in terms of governance, in checking, like, well, most users want the airdrop, but actually the most token holders, which are the whales, don't want it. What's your take on it?
I mean, there have been concepts like quadratic voting introduced to battle exactly that, right? Um, because then there's also discussions about Sybil resistance of these kinds of things, right? And obviously, if you introduce quadratic voting, which basically means that you need a quadratic number of tokens in order to get kind of the same result or the better result, that basically leads to people splitting up their holdings into multiple accounts and vote with multiple accounts. So in order to make that Sybil resistant, you would have to do KYC, whatever, right? Which may be fair nowadays. So that's I don't know whether that's a real solution. I don't particularly like quadratic voting because I think that every token should have the same, right? If you do polls based on or votes based on tokens, then every token should have the same effect. That's kind of from a um, yeah, philosophical perspective. Treat all tokens equally, right? Just because somebody has a million, adding another million won't have an effect, or will have very, very little of an effect. Whereas somebody going from 0 to 1 million will have a massive effect, right? Because tokens are priced the same, I think that if you want people to actually, if you want whales, and you do want whales, right? If you don't have whales, and everyone complains about the token price, right? Um, if you do have whales, and everyone complains about having whales and those people being very influential, especially in votes. So you can't get it right, but I think the people who move the needle the most um, for the overall economy should also have a saying, and like a relevant saying. And that's what it's been like for traditional governance in companies as well, especially publicly listed companies, right? There was no quadratic function in kind of, if you hold 51% of the company, but then you only have 10% of the votes because you hold so many, and then all the small retail shareholders get a voice as well. Like, what's this good for, right? So I
True.
think that
True.
you should embrace this instead of battling this, and set incentives for anyone and everyone. And yes, you will sometimes get what whales want. So you should aim at, well, changing the distribution, not changing the mechanics for voting, right?
So an airdrop will help this distribution problem or not? I mean, I have been thinking about it because
An
I
airdrop, an airdrop for
what I
sure.
thought is, if you
Airdrops
do
will help
another
that.
airdrop, then you can put things like this because you're deloading the supply, you're giving more to the users. But the first problem is the whales are going to get the most out of the airdrop, and second, it is most likely that users will sell their allocation to these whales.
Exactly. Um, but I mean, the whales are the ones who actually make the whole thing happen to begin
Exactly.
with, right? Without the whales, we wouldn't go anywhere with Jupiter as well, right? Because they have been buying tokens and they have been pushing the price up. So we're only having this discussion because they were there, right? And typically, and that shows in the votes as well, right? If your whales have more than 50% of the voting rights, then that means they are holding more than 50% of the tokens. So that means that they have contributed a lot, and probably also beyond just buying and holding tokens, but also introducing others. Maybe they're KOLs, whatever, right? Um, so I think what I think is we're still far apart from, well, having decent participation quotas here as well, right? So that's where I think another problem is that there isn't enough people who know about it and who are interested. And this is a process that needs to be kind of established, right? That there's a good way of understanding, hey, when are votes happening? Are enough people participating? It's the same with us, right? We want to do as many votes as possible so that we also have more people participating because they know their vote actually counts.
Okay. Very interesting.
Um,
Okay, questions.
this
We
is
have
this
to
is
answer questions.
this is interesting. Why not put the key in the dungeon chest with a 0.001 drop rate? Then even our newest, smallest players have an equal chance of finding it throughout the season.
Considering the things that are happening and how I have been testing with giving gems in the daily NFT chest, it will be given away maybe in 1 day or two, considering the current chances. Like, we don't realize how many users are playing the game right now, but I also don't love the idea considering that there's a chance that someone gets it and they don't know what the key is for, or they don't blend it, or they don't reach out to Matt. So there's a chance that someone that is new and he doesn't know about Overlord gets the key and is not actively looking for it. So I like the idea of the key to be something that the community is actively looking for, and they can do something to get more chances to obtain it. If it is that by chance and merely chance, then um, you are losing a very important mechanic that you can use to burn more stuff. For example, right now we're burning iron and gold. So if you drop it in the daily chest, then it's no sense. I do like the idea of maybe making a treasure hunt to create more engagement for the community, maybe for the next season. So we drop some hints to the community and they need to solve the puzzle.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice if that's inclusive, but it's also at the same time that's why our thinking around using fragments or now using airborne basiums has been that these are very inclusive already, right?
Yep.
So that's not anyone, but they're very inclusive. Um, and so anyone, or a lot of people have 1,000 iron and 10,000 coal. No, sorry, 100. No, what was it? A
Uh,
thousand, 1,000 and 10,000, right? Oh, I
a
keep
thousand
forgetting.
and 10,000 and 10
Mm,
wombat. Don't forget the 10 wombat.
yeah, but that's very inclusive already because a lot of people have coal and iron, right? Um, um, okay, let's do this. Let's start with the questions. So,
We
Afa,
have
sorry
13 questions. Holy.
for that was even before we were live.
Oh,
Um, that's a good one. Are you planning on scrapping? So, I suppose Afa means basically allowing to blend scrap wombations or moss wombations, unwanted wombat NFTs and items. So for instance, from contests, resource swaps. That's not sure I'm not sure what that means, but yeah, challenges. Wheel of Fortune. I guess that's the Well of Wealth, Wheel of Fortune. I don't know, but anyway, if there's things that you just have, right, which is similar to the old run duration pickers, because people were always asking, what can we do with them, right? And then we introduced a scrap formation blend, so that people could recycle them, and suddenly they're worth something, and you can get rid of all the NFTs that you have in your inventory, because nobody, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but nobody wants to hold thousands of NFTs that are worth 0.001 wax or less, right? Not that any of our NFTs had gone to that value, but what's your thoughts on this? Do you have any plans on offering more scrap blends, where people can basically just recycle their stuff?
Yes, I think I need to identify which are these NFTs that have lost their value, so we can do something for them. So yep.
Would you
Okay.
consider doing this for non Dungeon Master NFTs as well? So imagine
With
you have a whatever, a shovel in Alien Worlds, or whatever it is, right? That is just so over minted and it has such low value. Would you consider doing that for kind of third party things as well?
I mean, we can do it as long as the third party. I know the NFTs are full ownership and everything, but yeah, it is always good to ask the collection if they're okay with it, and also to find ways to collab together, so we can do something cooler. Because yeah, we can do things by ourselves, but if we do it along with someone, then we have more chances of making something great.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, obviously, we
Yes,
could use. I
I'm
mean,
open to it.
we could just use any NFT as well.
Like burn it, and I mean, we could
Just
do it with a
burn
limited
NFTs.
supply, and we enable it between seasons, maybe something fun, right?
Okay. Um, I'll get to the play related questions a little later. So
Play.
let's
Okay.
let's get on with the Dungeon Master related ones. Lacked Out has been asking, are we going to get more uses for clan resources? Currently, our clan is only a couple of weeks from the initial cap of 2.147 billion coal, iron,
Billion.
and uranium. Int
Okay.
the
What
so.
is initial? Int.
Hmm?
What is int?
The int is the maximum integer number that you
Oh, okay.
can capture in an int. So that's a 2.147 billion, I guess, is a 16-bit. No, that's got to be a 32-bit number.
We must. I will think about something.
I think the problem is that there's such a big imbalance between those, and so I think what we need to change is how the bank works, because obviously this has
Oh,
a
let's
lot of
reward
that
people.
stems from the rewards that people are getting from the bank, right? Because this compounds. So I think that's where we need to start, because there's a few clans who have so many resources. So there needs to be a cap on how much more you can get, because now at 1% daily, right? If you have 2 billion, then you can't spend that anymore. It's
The
an
bank is
unlimited
okay.
resource.
Okay.
Sure has been asking, how familiar or even involved are you in the ongoing efforts to add NFT renting capabilities via new holders table to use this for Dungeon Master staking? Um, Last time I looked at it was about a month ago, I believe. So
They
I'm not
haven't talked much
sure.
about it since then.
I'm not sure whether there have been any updates. So there's always inherent problems with NFT renting, um, and they're really, really hard to overcome. And it would be great if we had a solution that actually works, right? Because the problem is when you rent, and we've had a discussion here as well a few weeks ago, I believe. When you rent, as a actual owner, you want to retain the possibility to actually get it back, right? Whenever the rent doesn't get paid or whatever. So you need to have control over it somehow. But if that's the case, if this can basically just be moved, then intrinsically this can cause problems for other applications. For instance, imagine I rent out something to Santiago. He doesn't pay the rent, obviously, because that's what he does. And now he has these NFTs staked in Dungeon Master, and now I say I want to have it back, like tomorrow, because the rent has not been paid. So, but you have a 1 day unstaking period in Dungeon Master. So how do you get that back? How does the Dungeon Master smart contract know about this? Right? Does this require special implementation of anything? So I think that's one big difficulty. Another big difficulty is kind of the discussion whether or not to put this into the the smart contract for the assets for the NFTs themselves, or whether this should be a separate smart contract which has ups and downs as well. Right. One upside of having in a asset smart contract is that it can be used anywhere and everywhere. Right. But a downside is that this might actually break downward compatibility with older versions of this, and maybe some applications would have to make implementations, especially if they're legacy, right? If it's a separate smart contract, for instance, then there's no guarantee that this can be enforced, and so there's a lot of discussions. It's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous how complex that is, right? Because you think that blockchain is really good for that kind of stuff, and in theory it is. It's just that this is really really hard, and so it would be great if we could have a renting kind of solution, and I would really really appreciate that. It's just from the discussions that we've had so far, also talking to OAG members, I'm not having super high hopes that we will have a solution very very soon, like a solution that can actually be used without implementing all kinds of things around it, right? Because yeah, precisely what I was talking about, this would probably require us having a separate staking smart contract for Dungeon Master that works with rented NFTs, right? So that they can be brought back, and then we have to think about misuse and so on. Prince Paradox has been saying I might have discovered a bug with one play for me over the weekend. At least I think I did. See, I think Ziva was gonna give it issue with how the one play browser has been interpreting the escaped values in the URL when exporting the referral links to Google Play Store. So I think we'll need more details on that in a private message. I'm not sure whether I understand right here, but so it seems there's a problem with the referral links. So there was an idea about the Overlord. Okay, the treasure hunt, you mentioned that already.
Yes. I like the idea. Let's see what we can do next season.
So that's
Deeper
Santiago.
well.
Do you want to make the Well of Wealth deeper next season?
I mean, for what purpose? To give more NFTs. I mean, the only purpose will be to give more NFTs. And
to have more things to do for people who otherwise end up finishing the Well of Wealth on the first or second day. Maybe.
I think we might need to rework the way people reach to the bottom, because they reach it so fast. We can add some dynamics so that we can actually do a race to the bottom. But first we need to check how it behaves, because I have seen it very likely. Like, I haven't tackled that system of the Well of Wealth right now. The only way to make it deeper will be like to give out more NFTs.
Well, of course. I mean, in the end, that's what people want, right? They want more things.
But if so, we have some spaces within the current space, within the current depth, that we could fill them. So the response is yes, we could do it, but first we want to check over the Well of Wealth and see what can be done with it. Right now, we're focusing on the stamina changes that will come next season, and some clan updates for you guys.
Captop said, did you know that mobile gaming is coming under more scrutiny lately in the UK, mainly gaming random loot boxes, saying it's more like gambling than games. Monopoly Go is being used as an example. Yeah, I mean, that's a difficult discussion because inherently there's randomness in any game, right? So where do you draw the line? And I think that's really difficult, right? So there's let's say whatever you play an RPG and there's drop rates for items, right? Is that gambling? Because these items might actually have some kind of value, right? Obviously, you have drop rates, right? You can't make it deterministic entirely. So that's, I think, there's no battle to be won here because inherently, right? Any game, like even if it's just a simple whatever, you play Uno against somebody else, right? So you shuffle the cards. There's a random component there, and if there's like the problem is not that it's random, right? In this respect, the problem is if it's random and you gain something that can have a value, like a monetary value, which can be the case with games like Pokemon Go, Monopoly Go, whatever. A lot of games actually, right, where you might be able to sell stuff. Or I mean, FIFA or EA FC packs have been under scrutiny in Belgium, I believe, and the Netherlands regarding gambling as well. So there's some points to be made. I think it's ridiculous. I personally think it's ridiculous because it's like then what? Pokemon card packs or Magic the Gathering card packs are also gambling, right? Because
No,
they
they
have
are
a value.
securities. No, I'm
They're
kidding.
not well. They're not. Maybe they're securities, but on top of
I'm
that,
kidding. I'm kidding.
they're gambling. They need to be licensed by a gambling authority, right? Because you might end up getting the Charizard, which is a few $1,000s from or tens of thousands of dollars from a pack, right? So how is that not gambling? It's random what's in there, right? So I don't know. I don't know where they will stop with that, but that basically would make anything that has a random component that you can buy like physically as well. That would make that a gambling application. So I think they're on the totally wrong track. I mean, this is about consumer protection, right? In the end, but how do you protect consumers? You tell them what's inside, right? You give them information about what's inside, what they can gain, what they can lose from buying a pack or doing XYZ. So I think it's not the way to basically just say, oh, this is gambling. But what can you do? Some of these authorities are short-sighted. Um, there was a question by Mr. Nobody. When will you burn this? And I don't know
What's that?
what that is. Did you look it up?
VIP aid. Do you want the VIP aid, guys?
But what's this? I don't know. Have you opened? Do you have this open? The drop
No. Let me check.
burn? I don't know. Is that our skin drop?
I don't like to check links. I'll do it. I cannot do it. Wait.
Waffle blend is also gambling. Hey, any pack is gambling. Any pack on wax, any on-chain pack, anything that like in that respect, that's also gambling. Like it all is, right? So and also the chest is a gambling, right? The daily
It says that
chest.
it has ended. It's the Dungeon Diver Yellow.
Yeah, so that's
Okay.
um get in contact with the mission control devs, Shrimp and Pestilentia. They've created a smart contract that allows for rent and return in one smooth transaction, adding a time clause to it would likely be easier than not. Okay.
Cool.
Can you make a note?
Yes.
So Mass Baz had this idea a while ago already.
Yeah, the one of the foundry.
Okay. Buying crypto is gambling.
Yes. Yes, it is.
At least on something like pump.fun, right? Where you literally can't know. I know you've had your run with Chill Guy, but
Pretty good
there's
run.
probably 1,000 tokens or thousands of tokens that you could have gotten into that looked similar at the beginning, but ended up not being anything that you could basically just gamble into as well.
Will we see a pump that fun on Waxon? Do you think so?
I don't know. It would be fun. Definitely be fun. I think that, I mean, the tech is, and I think we've been talking about this, right? The tech in general is really, really good for something like pump.fun, right? And it's just going to be really hard to balance this compared to pump fun, right? Because obviously we're 3 orders of magnitude smaller
Maybe four.
The Solana ecosystem. But I mean, in the end, Launchbacks was an attempt to do that, to do something like that, right? I think the problem with Launchbacks is that it's still too complicated for anyone to launch a token, and that's why there has been too little traction. So even the mob tokens, right? That was assisted, but if you just want to self-service this, then it's really hard to wrap your head around this and launch a token. Although the what it can do is really cool, right? But the secret of Pump Fun is that you can essentially create a token in 18 seconds or so, and
Yes.
it's even if you have to kind of ask Dali for an artwork or whatever, then it takes maybe like 2 minutes to set up a token, right? And there's no risk, and you don't have to pay anything. You don't have to spend a lot of sol on this, and then you go and you have your shot. That's why anyone and everyone just creates tokens, and then every once in a while there is something good happening, right? So if we can do something like that, if we can have something like that on Wax, then that's going to be awesome, right?
Yes. Got an idea. Let me type it before I forget.
Robot is probably referring to Pump Fun. Yeah, I mean, but also on Solana, well, obviously it's much easier to have something like that happening on Solana if there's a lot of people who have made a lot of money on Solana, right? And there's still a lot of people who made a lot of money on Solana with, well, Sol itself, but also with NFTs back in 21, 22. Now they can spend this money on meme coins. And now there's a lot of people who have made a lot of money with meme coins, so they obviously spend their money on more meme coins because they try and try to reproduce their success, right? So that's something that we're kind of missing in, not just kind of, that's something that we're missing in Wax, right? There's like, okay, if you bought Wax at 3 cents, then now you have a good return, obviously. But most people, I think, are in the red with their Wax investments. So it's going to be hard to replicate something like that. But it can have a good flywheel effect, because if you look at Pump Fund, if you look at a liquidity pool like, let's say, Peanut, right? That's most of the liquidity in the standard liquidity pool is locked, is burned, So there's Sol in this liquidity pool that's locked up forever, right? This cannot be retrieved unless people dump Peanut to basically zero. Then this is the only way of basically getting that Sol back. But there's so much Sol sitting in all of these liquidity pools for all these meme coins that this has to kind of have an effect for Sol to go up, because you need to buy new Sol in order to, or people like as a whole need to buy more Sol in order to participate in this crazy stuff, right? So if we can replicate that anywhere, or like let's say on Wax, then obviously that would have massive potential for Wax to go up dramatically, not just like 10%, not from 5 to 6 cents, but from 5 to 50 cents, right? And that's not going to happen overnight. This needs success cases. This needs this one thing or two things that actually show, hey, there's money to be made here, and that will attract outsiders as well. So EOS has been on a nice run lately. So kudos to
So
ENF.
Please fix the IBC. Who said that?
You said that.
Who said that? Did I hear something?
Hey, hi, T-Break. Nice for you to comment from X. Should I start? I think I need to do a vote on that. Should I start saying X instead of Twitter?
I also have this problem. I prefer Twitter. I don't like X, but I don't want to be like my father. And a company changes its name and he keeps telling it the way it was called like 20 years ago. I don't want to feel old, so we'll have to call it X.
So Rob Odd is saying, follow up on renting. Could this work? Person A lists an MP item or gear for renting for a specific time, for instance, days or half or a complete season. Items get locked into a smart contract. Person B is renting an item, paying the rent up front, like on secondary market today. Third step, person B gets a newly created NFT, which is not the original item, but stakeable in Dungeon Master. New templates for rented items. This new item could have an attribute how it's stakeable. Yeah, so if you talk about just Dungeon Master specific renting, then this can work, and we could implement this, right? We could also implement that within the current existing smart contracts, where we basically just stake them in the smart contract, and then our game knows that, okay, this has been rented, and it is person A's, but person B is using it for the season. So that's doable. That's entirely doable. It's just that this is then renting that's just very specific for Dungeon Master, right? Which is again doable, but it's a lot of effort and a lot of complexity for something that just benefits people in Dungeon Master. That may be enough at some point, right? So that's a total discussion that we can have.
So it is worth, yeah.
But with this, if this is outside, then yes, in theory, this is for days or a half season or a complete season. But how do you know it's for that season, right? How can you see this from the outside? Maybe you can, but then what happens if it isn't, right? And then also you have to return it anyway after the end of the renting period, or maybe they top it up in between and whatnot, right? So there's a lot of complexity there, and then it's a separate template, right? So for any NFT that's out there, for any template that's out there, you need a mirroring template that basically does the same. So that's doable, but that still kind of doesn't solve the issue of what happens if this has to be returned in the middle of the process, right? Because what happens if there is no update or there is an update or whatever? So I think if you narrow it down to some very, very specific parameters, like, okay, there's very specific time frames to be rented, maybe, but it's still not easy.
T-Break, when are you joining us on the stream? It will be cool to have him someday. What is Blue Sky?
There's a Twitch stream, yes. You don't know Blue Sky?
No.
The Twitter alternative that was brought up after Musk took over
Ah,
Twitter?
Blue Sky. I'm not a fan. I mean, yeah, I'm not a fan.
Okay. One more or two more before we get into play tokens.
Tea break
Uh,
just arrived. He found his way over.
do you know Tea Break?
For sure.
Okay, good.
Dude.
Um, uh, can you, as in Santiago, can you share some details on the stamina overall?
Uh, so what we plan right now, maybe it might not be final, is we will add a threshold. So if you get minus 500 stamina, then this threshold will activate and you will get a deboost in speed. So when you get negative stamina, you're 3 times slower. You will be this time 4 times slower if you are below minus 500. And we will also add a contribution decrease of 20% of what you generate. That's it. What do you think?
That's a pretty hefty.
That's a pretty heavy nerf. Yeah.
Yeah.
So currently my ideas is maybe just add the contribution nerf and not really increase the deboost in speed to 4x. What do you think, guys? Are you happy? Are you sad? You like it? You don't like it? You need a governance poll for this.
um, you go ahead before we get into the questions around play. I need a very very quick break. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, you
Okay.
just keep that discussion rolling around
Is,
um, this.
is it too low in the sense that a lot of people will trigger this threshold, or you want it to be lower, like it should be on minus 1000? Minus 2500. Why do you think so? I mean, yeah, I mean, the goal of this is not really to target small users that occasionally might reach the minus 500, but it is to target some people that have been running all over and over and over again and ignoring actual stamina, which is speed should be linked to stamina, but it should also be linked to the production that you have and the performance of the wombat in general. If that is the case, then we must rework stamina as a whole. I'm good with anything that makes whales complain. How many players will be affected by this threshold? When we run the numbers, it were less than 100. So that's why we think, yeah, it won't change anything for most people. That's why we think minus 500 will be good. You will be below 500 with one penalty run. When we check, not many were affected by this. Minus 500. Okay, so that's good feedback. Maybe we could do it to minus 1000. If that's the feedback, we will have to recheck. But yeah, overall, this is an ongoing mechanic, and the good thing of it is easy to change. If we see a lot of people get affected by it, then bam, we throw a patch, and then instead of minus 500, we can do it minus 1000.
All right, there you get your answers. Tea break, yes. That's particularly what we have been discussing, and kind of the ups and downs of this, and how that um, can work, and whether this would be compatible. Not with the maybe not the latest discussion, but the discussion that's been on for 4 or 6 weeks ago.
Do you think? I mean, I'm all down like to keep developing stuff, but do you think this will help at all adding the renting to the contract? I mean, I agree that it isn't like, even though we don't have a current use case for renting right now, it doesn't mean we shouldn't do it, because the feature should be there for everyone to take advantage of it.
So I think it's a double-edged sword. Obviously, I think it's great that the community is spending time and effort on this. The Wax ecosystem overall is very, very is a mature in terms of what you can do with NFTs, right? It's really, really cool what you can do with NFTs out of the box, right? The fact that you can basically just create packs, on-chain packs, with an on-chain RNG, that's very impressive all by itself, right? Like, which chain has that? It's really awesome, right? Then you have all the blends and all the creator tools on Nifty blocks on NFT Hive, the upgrades, the on-chain mutable attributes, and now you'll have renting. So it's a one-stop shop for anything NFT related. That's actually really, really cool. Um, However, as cool as that is, that doesn't solve the inherent problem of Wax, which is it's under commercialized, right? There's too few people building on Wax, building businesses on Wax, essentially, or with Wax, right? And this is not going to change just because we have renting of NFTs integrated in the protocol, right? So um, there's a lot of great discussions, and basically the community and the OIG and anyone related there, they do what they can do, right, for the Wax ecosystem, which is keep developing it further. And we are, like, I personally, but also we as a company, we fully support that, because whatever innovation can come out is going to be great. At the same time, what we need in the Wax ecosystem is more than that, right? It's not features. We've had all the advantage and features for years now, but that didn't result in any kind of advantage in terms of adoption or companies building on it or whatever it is, right? So, so I think this will help. People will use it if it works and if it's integrated nicely, if it's easy to implement for apps, dApps, games, whatever. But it's not gonna move the needle significantly.
Interesting.
Um, yeah. So T break is confirms this, and great renting. Conspire Vince chiming in on great renting concept for sure. Wrong products here with generally low value NFTs. I don't think that the low value NFTs is the problem, right? I think it's good to actually have NFTs that are more approachable to a larger group of people, and it shouldn't be just 10 ETH NFTs that are worth 10 ETH or 10 SOL or whatever. So I think that's generally good, because these are more likely to be rented as well, at super small costs. I think the problem is that there's too few interesting things happening, right? So we spoke about Our Planet earlier. Our Planet is a great game with some really valuable NFTs, but too few people are playing this, and it's just one of very few games. Have you seen actually Pixel Races? Or is there
Yeah,
any other new games I've seen? Because I sometimes I just look at the NFT drops happening on Hive and Nifty, and Pixel Races caught my eye, and this is one of these, it feels like 2021, play to earn games where you don't even race, right? You just have a car and you start a kind of a virtual race, and then depending on your car and the competition and the items that you have, you rank, and then you win tokens,
okay.
right? So it's funny. It gives me this old school vibe, old school in terms of crypto community 4 years ago. But yeah, I don't know. It's there. We just need more use cases. I want to rent a season pass for one season. Well, you can have my season 14 season pass for a season.
So Rising said statistics will tell you how many play negative stamina intentionally or by accident. Time for Solar to study more. I mean, if I am wrong, then you're in all your right to humble me, to tell me that I'm wrong, and then I will say, yes, I'm wrong, and we will do the changes. I don't have any problem with that. If so, I must know the product correctly. And that's it. That's what I want you guys to do. give me all the feedback that you want. Tell me like, no, the approach is wrong because you also need to take into account this, and then I'll take it into account. That, I mean, that's good, and thank you so much for the feedback.
Okay, Rising Dragons is challenging me because yes, I did buy some of these cards. You know, that's what I
You
always
found them.
do when new stuff comes out on Wax. I wanna check it out. So
Did
I
you
don't have
check Far From Home as well?
not yet.
Okay.
So I do have this Hazer R35 Ultimate. So
Oh,
maybe that's impressive
I
more
love
than
the
a
designs. They're pretty cool.
and I have this Diamond R33 Mythic. I don't know what it all means, to be honest. But yeah, well, obviously I've been racing with this, and I have some of these items here as well. Um, come on. It's cool because you don't have to sign a transaction every single time. You can basically just
Good.
load them out. Did I consume them? Are they consumables, these items? No, I don't think so. I
You
didn't
just
sign
burned your
anything.
mythic car.
No, not the car, but the items.
Oh,
I just got some new items. So I don't know. Maybe they're just gone. But
and
anyway,
what can you do with them?
they give you a higher chance of winning essentially. So now I can start this game. You know, there's no real race here. This is all you see. Now this takes 10 hours. You have to wait 10 hours, and then you basically can click here and see your results. So my what I was just 14th with my ultimate car. I just placed
Yikes.
14th.
Yikes.
What the hell? But
Yikes.
anyway, look, you earn these PXRS tokens, and so that's what you're getting. And I don't know what you can do with them just yet, but there is going to be uses for them, I suppose. And then you can also currently you can stake your cars, and then you get some more PXRS, right? So whatever.
Interesting.
That's it. That's all there is, right? But they have these drops running where you can buy some cars for some wax, and I just this was new, right? So when I see okay the collection's new and there's something going on and whatever, then I want to try this. And so if anyone is in touch with the team, we can obviously maybe do some promo or stream. No, that was it. That's all you can do. Um, yeah.
Make season rewards great again. We will.
So if you've seen the token price going up, obviously we're getting there already, right? Um,
Are we at? Oh my.
yeah, it's been decent, relatively speaking. Okay, so let's get into all the questions regarding play because there's been a bunch. Maybe one last from Coins for Vince. I forgot that. It's less of a question. I don't know if using perfect gems to blend with respective gears even worth doing unless the boost value exceeds the respective payouts. Well, yes, but that could count for buying any item, right? And obviously, like this is what we've been doing the math based upon is how does that compare to an item with kind of the respective marginal value. This is how the effects have been computed, right?
Do you think that if we implement gems for the legacy items, we should keep the same boost?
Are you asking me or the chat?
Both.
I
What do
think
you think?
yes. I think they should have the same effect. But I mean, I really can't imagine applying speed gems like sapphires to robomolds. I mean, this feels unfair. This feels OP, right?
Yeah,
And
it feels okay.
I can imagine at least 2 or 3 or 5 people who will definitely do that. It just feels
But then they will
like
be
an obvious
hit by the
choice.
stamina changes
I don't think so because
if
they
they're too
don't
fast.
play that much. They just would just do longer runs, and you can already see. By the way, in this season 21, choice of kind of the which run duration should get a 20% boost, it was not the 5 minutes, right? typically we would have the 5 minutes, but this season we already don't have that. So that is basically some thinking by the community around we don't want the negative stamina kind of thing to be reinforced to that.
Okay. Is it called Pixel Rock Racers, or am I just?
It's just called Pixel Races.
Oh, okay.
So a virtual race that rewards their own tokens, not a red flag for not a red flag for you. I don't know. I just wanted to see kind of where if anyone is playing this and whether that's kind of solid or where this might go. I have no idea. I don't I don't think in red flags. I'm I'm just a curious person. Um, so
So about my 2000 wax giveaway, I have it ready. Actually, I should tweet about it. I had the tweet and I never released it. But unfortunately, you're not among the winners, Kevin.
you sure? So this is the same. This is the same type of question, right? So they control the randomness and they control their own tokens. So how can you participate in something in anything where you don't have any transparency over kind of how you're winning and how you're losing? But hey, come on, it's like this is Mortal Wombats saying don't spend nothing on crypto or NFTs that you can't afford to lose. It's not about making money here, right? I know I won't become a millionaire by playing pixel races and buying some NFTs worth $20. That's not a, that's it's about having fun, and for me, it's also about kind of finding out what's going on Wax lately, right? And whether there's anything we should integrate, we should take into consideration for Dungeon Master, for Wombat. Should we list that game? Does anyone know the team? Can you put us in touch? Right? Anything like that, because it's always interesting if new stuff is happening.
Adrian is just a chill guy. Are you a chill guy?
I did buy some chill guy, but
Puts his hands in his pockets and he's like a chill guy.
I really like the meme. Apparently, the creator also really likes his meme, right? So, I really don't know what's going to get out of this potential copyright infringement suit.
Not sure as well.
Okay. Cheaper than a round of golf and a sleeve of balls into the woods. Okay. Sorry for taking almost an hour and a half, but I hope, Brent, that you've been sticking around because that's what you do, right?
We have to talk about.
But there were so many questions. What can you do? But play. It's not because of the priority of play for us. It's because of just bundling questions. What is the exact circulating supply of play, and when will we know play starting price? So first question is the answer to the first question is the exact one. By the time it's going to launch, that will be published soon in the white paper, right? We have done all the tokenomics, so that's going to be published. It's give or take 50% of the entire supply of play. This will be unlocked, will be circulating by the time play will launch.
It should be higher
than
No, never mind.
And maybe there's an interesting discussion to be had about this, because that's part of the power of meme coins, right? That they're fully unlocked, and anyone who enters can basically exit, and there's no kind of hidden unlocks or unlock FUD happening, right? It's basically just what it is. Anyone who has tokens will have tokens, and you can buy, and everyone basically has a fair chance of buying into it and so on. So I think it's good that we will have a very large floating supply initially, right? That there isn't kind of, oh yeah, now we unlock so many tokens and now they're going to enter circulation and people will be dumping and whatnot. So we don't have to FUD about this. So I think that's actually cool. When will we know the play starting price? That's going to be about a few days, maybe a week before it actually goes on exchanges, right? So because if we said any number now, right, this would definitely incentivize
Right.
people to, well, behave maliciously. Let's put it that way, right? Because there might be arbitrage to be made or whatever. So what you do is you tell that you publish that number very very close to the launch. Um, any updates you can share with us about play? So we've been having some very 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 interesting discussions with advisors, with potential partners, with exchanges, with like very interesting discussions. So I think what's going to happen is that the date will be released within very very soon. Very very soon. We're having discussions about that on a daily basis. When can we finally do this? Because we know that you want to know. Um, a lot of people are getting very excited about this. I can say that. So we're also very excited to get you all the information about it all, the tokenomics, the details about the Playmate protocol and all these things, because we think that you'll love it. That because a lot of people are loving it, like whoever we've been talking to about that. So um, we're getting really really close. We are working towards our date. There's a lot of moving parts still. Obviously the environment has been changing, so we have to adapt there a little bit, but it's really really exciting. I think it's really really exciting. How about you? What do you think, Santiago?
I'm excited. I like to see what we are building, the idea behind it, and overall what steps you're taking and the approach you're taking to release the token. I also had to highlight the way that you, like Rising Dragon said, like Adrian won't tell the number, then what's 3 plus 4? Definitely not telling the number. Just tell us the date. Yes, that's why I need to highlight how Adrian doesn't tell the date. Like, if you push me a little bit more, I might release the date by mistake. But Adrian is so good keeping the secret, so I'm just like, I wouldn't talk.
That's why people
I'm not
call me a
pissed off.
chill guy.
Yeah, he's a chill guy.
um
I mean, I saw a tweet, a post from the Wombat X that said that was talking about the ecosystem token.
um it's gonna be play.
Yeah,
That I can answer. The new
you just
ecosystem
take your five
token,
seconds to think
aka
about it.
play. um Once the play token has been released, how much of a priority will be given, or will be given to play listing, getting listed on more exchanges? It's the issue with the current Wombat token is in most comments about it. It's not on enough exchanges at the moment. Well, this might. It's not going to be an obsolete question, but if we get the launch right, then we won't have to worry as much about more exchanges because we're trying to line up an impressive set of, or a sufficient set of exchanges by launch. But in general, yes, we'll consistently work on getting play on more exchanges, so long as it's quote unquote worth it, right? Because I mean, I don't want to talk too much about that publicly, about kind of practices in the crypto world, because not a lot of people talk about that. But there's, if you know, there's a lot of weird practices that are being performed within the crypto space, and it doesn't always, like, not everything that seems good is good in reality, right? Just because you see super high volume somewhere and you think like on an exchange, it's got to be totally worth it getting on this exchange because their volumes are so high because that's what everyone's looking for, or whatever, doesn't necessarily mean they're real. So it's really hard to gauge, especially based on um, your own audience and kind of uh, how many people actually have exchange accounts and so on, what's really worth it, right? So I would actually like to see kind of a profile of our community, which exchanges they actually trade on, right? That would be so cool. Um, just so we can see kind of what works for whom. Not just Wombat, obviously, but or was there, but any token. Like where do you trade, right? Um,
So me personally, I trade on Binance.
Only there, nothing
Only
else.
there. I mean, I like decentralization, so I only trade on there and on Binance. I don't have any other account.
Any employees involved in discussions are prevented
That's a
from
very
buying.
good question for my.
Um, in general, we have insider trading policies.
Yes.
Um, we also have them for NFTs. We've had them for NFTs. Nowadays, obviously, NFTs are not that much of a thing. But if you remember, we had when we first introduced Dungeon Master in the beginning, whenever we added a new collection to be stakeable Dungeon Master, their floor prices would typically go 3x and whatnot, right? So internally, we even prevented people from trading NFTs. Nowadays, I mean, there's obviously an inherent problem with proving that an employee traded tokens, but we want to hand out information also, for instance, to you as the community first before that hitting the entire kind of public, so that you know before everyone else knows this is part of being part of this is part of being in the community, right? Or part of being, let's say, a VIP or whatever, right? But at the same time, can we prevent, can we track people who have used that information to buy tokens? Well, sometimes you can, most of the time you can't, because it's really easy to obfuscate any kind of purchases. But yes, in general, we have insider trading policies in place where we say people, you can't do XYZ based off of information that you have that others don't have, right?
Yes. That's very important, actually, like to have set them up.
Yeah. So that's the same. It's moving in the market, right? Um, what we can't avoid is if we talk to somebody about what we're planning, that they use that information somehow, right? We don't want this. We're not inducing this because we would like to stuff to happen once information is basically out for anyone and fairly. But at the same time, I don't think anyone complains about price going up specifically. But yeah, that's what sometimes happens.
I have Matt's Wax and Poly address, and I'm watching his activity every day.
Um,
If Super Grinch is buying ice cream, I will buy 10 ice creams. So, what are you buying, Super Grinch?
I've been buying Blue Whale, Red or Dead coin, and 1B for instance. There's a few things that whenever they come out, I sometimes look at coins and the tokens on Wax and basically just buy a little bit, just not to um, lose out on the opportunity. But I mean, with these liquidities, sometimes, right? So if you look at the Sasha token, just because we had Sasha on last week, right? The Sasha token has like $6 of liquidity or something like that, right? So it's like, yeah, you can't even buy, right?
Which is Freddy Wallet? I want to check it out.
Hmm?
That someone asked about Freddy Wallet.
Yeah, I know it by heart. It's a waxed out wallet, but Freddy hasn't been doing anything.
Let's see. Let's see.
Um, we are family, all my wallets and me. um,
Yeah, he hasn't done much.
Polygon problem still there. Polygon scan shows wrong gas price, and Wombat wallet uses it. So that I definitely need to forward somewhere.
Thank you, Kevin.
Um,
Hey, Buzz. How are you doing? Busking.
hey. So immediately after we launch a new use case for the mob formations,
What's
Kevin's
next?
coming up with when better use case for mob formations. Only 102 Woofy blend till now out of 6K mob formations.
I mean, one point. We are only 1 hour and 40 minutes into the blend, and for us to have 100 blends, it's good for me. I mean, it's 200 combinations already burned.
Yeah.
Give it time. It was the same thing with gems. I mean, I think you need to give people the time to make numbers and be confident about the new features before they actually jump in.
It's also a matter of opportunity, right? Of arbitrage sometimes,
Yes.
of discovering things. So and also the you can only buy 10 at a time of those, right? So if there's one person who wants to buy them, then I'm a bit surprised though still that they're not sold out because they're really cheap at this stage, right? So you get a red mob bombation for 15 cents worth of RDC. Um, my prediction is that this is going to end up a bargain, right? That you will think back of the times when you could buy a mob formation for like 15 or 18 cents, and you'll go like, oh my god, that was so crazy. Now they're like $25,000, something like that. No, I'm exaggerating, right? But it's I don't know. It's the I one last thing just to draw a comparison. A week ago or so, I looked at the price for confetti again. I think that was after we had the discussion
Oh, you
with
told me about it.
Sasha on the stream, right? And just a really brief one. We need to do a grubfish and answer the remaining questions and so on. I know, but the confetti. Where is the confetti price right now? So, oh, there's a cheap one at 0.6 wax right now, but to me it seems like it's maybe a little low. So yeah, last week when I looked at it, it was like almost 1 EOS or something, right? Was like the floor price. So now with the EOS price and so on, right, that's like $1 or 60, 70 cents for confetti. And they used to be traded at literally like 3 cents, right? So they like whoever bought into confettis back in the day um, would have a 20x return in like a year and a half or so on NFTs, right? Um, and some of these things are just designed to go to basically become more valuable over time, right? Or like there's going to be a lot of volatility in these mob coins, right? Because their market cap and their liquidity is so low. Um, but so I don't think that we'll ever bring them back at such a low price, right? And right now it seems a lot because it's what is it, 2 billion mob coins, but that's the last time, the first and last time that that we're offering them at the same price, right? In the future, there's going to be kind of a more use case dependent if the use cases are not symmetric, or also kind of token price dependent, right? If the tokens are not the same price. So things are going to change like dramatically. So
Imagine if Freddy lost his key. Holy.
but it's a Wax Cloud wallet. You would have to lose access to your Google
2FA.
account.
Maybe it is to the 2FA. It happened to a friend of mine that he lost access to the two-factor authentication and he wasn't able to log in.
Enzi's saying that was the follow-up to the cat bombation blend, I believe. Cat bombation blend question that we had in the beginning. People don't know that cat bombation can be found while opening master packs. I'm trying to raise awareness so more people will sell it in the market if people open master packs, right? Because there's we know that the market for cat bombations is very, very tight, and that may have been a deliberate choice, right? But so now we can introduce awesome blends for these kinds of things.
For the worm wombation.
So what's up with the worm wombation blend? Is that happening? Are you doing this?
Yes, we're going to do a worm wombation blend this week.
Perhaps having 3 mobs released at the same time watered down the demand and use cases was only known now. Yeah, I mean, that's okay. It's just that I was thinking that maybe people just buy it because of their speculative nature, right? So they would basically just buy 100 mob bombations of their favorite mob just for the sake of it and see where this goes, right? That's what I was thinking. But I mean, you never stop learning. It's a chicken and egg situation at the moment. We need master packs to make grandmaster packs, and we also need to burn some master packs to find cat. Yes, exactly. That's the whole situation. You need so we don't want master packs to just be staked. We don't want any type of pack to just be staked, right? We want them to be opened.
Nancy, what happened? Did you give up with their wombation?
There was another one by Tukui. I found relating to the play token. I think first weeks since launch will be crucial for player performance and market. I hope you already have planned to market this event and already have a plan B if this thing does not work out, not having impact on increasing play evaluation. All I can say is my wombat is truly dead since I bought a huge amount around all-time high, not sold a single token. I wish play can go to 100 billion market cap. I can say that we all want play to go we all want play to go beyond even 100 million market cap, right? Like that's a dream scenario. We're all in the same boat here. So it's too bad if you bought it around all-time high, of course. But yes, we do have a plan, and we actually are very, very aware that the majority of the activity and also action will be after we launch, not before. Right? That's what typically happens with rebranded tokens, merge tokens, whatever. That the actual activity is going to go after it relaunches.
I gave up on the wombation. Don't give up.
Never give up. Okay. But I mean, that's what happens, right? Like,
I want to show
some
you.
people just give up. What you want to show?
No, you can continue. Give me a second.
No, I would continue with a round of Twitchy Tides.
Yes, because we have a meeting.
So anyone who has a cat, I don't even have master packs. So I don't know. It's like, I think, yeah, getting a cat from a master pack nowadays is really cool.
So can you see my screen?
I can.
So I saw this meme that is me and my homie after making millions creating a casino and putting this image on the on the front door. So Bintown, don't give up. You're already here. The same for Ansi. You're going to get it. For all of you guys, don't give up. You will get the Overlord.
How'd you know where you are, right? You never know until you
Yeah,
know.
that's why you have to keep going.
Okay. I'll move this over to the Twitchy Tides. Hang on. This one. Let's get Twitchy Tides rolling. Explanation. The blue stuff is coal. But Anzi, if you're just out of free wax transactions, then you can just come back tomorrow and try again. Keep trying.
No, because Ansi will lose it by tomorrow. No, I don't know.
Oh, fair enough. Then Anzi can get the gold key from the person who actually blends it. I mean, I believe there's, how many did we have?
So far we have obtained. Wait, I have so many tabs.
28 bulk blends, so that's 280 worth of tries, and 100. So that's only close
You're
to
not even
400
halfway done,
tries.
to be
It's
statistically.
20%. That's 20% of the expected value.
Yes.
So no, you're not there. You're
Why
far
didn't
away.
this happen with the perfect diamond blend?
So, will season rewards change for next season? Will the rewards be fixed to USD? Will the reward be play, wax, or any other token of choice, maybe?
XRP.
XRP. XRP would have been a good bet if we had bought XRP kind of 6 months ago. So, I have no XRP. I used to have a few thousand, but like anyway. So we're discussing this. We'll see. We'll let you know what the prize pool is going to be. Yeah. I mean, it's the season. Next season will start next week, and then it's going to last 6 weeks. The prize pool will very likely not be wombat, right? Very, very likely not be wombat. So let's just say this much. And cons for Vince, that's a very, very fair and correct statement. No one would have a higher stake in play more than Adrian himself. Equally has the most to lose. So indeed, he will work his ass off on his token, on this token. I can confirm. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there is somebody who holds more factual tokens than me. Maybe post merge, maybe there is going to be few people, but I'm very, very invested in this. So I want this to succeed. That's what I keep telling you folks. All right. You don't need to worry that we're not incentivized in the same way. There's a lot for me to gain and to lose, for me personally, and a lot of people on the team, by the way, right? A lot of team members also hold Wombat outside of, like, currently it's Wombat outside of even the team allocation that they've been getting and so on. Coins for Vince is so far the only one with a Wombat skin. Oh no, Shiva Seeker has the gold one. So I hardly even
I
spotted
forgot to
this.
reply to Coins for Beans. Sorry, I will reply to you. I just saw him and I remember.
Do reply, yeah. Replying is always nice. Okay. Let's wait another minute for people to join. So and let's discuss what we're going to be giving out as prizes. So I don't know.
First place gets a perfect diamond. Second place a perfect sapphire. Third place a perfect topaz. And what do you think of the fourth place?
I know you're kidding, and it's good that I'm the one deciding on those or announcing those because otherwise, this would be false advertising right there.
Yeah.
Um, so we have some simple gem packs left. Um, I know that you would want to hand those out.
Which?
Uh,
Simple.
Simple gem packs, or gems packs altogether. Um, we also have we still have wood medals, I
Number
believe.
four gets a play token. We should give
One.
out the medals. I
So
I think first place gets to know the release date of the play token.
privately,
Private, no, okay.
the Overlord. Let's do that.
Do
That
you
way.
imagine?
We'll
That's
tell the Overlord.
the Nazis buying like 600 airborne invasions just to make sure.
Um, okay, so let's hand out some party medals because we still have some of them left, and it says season 20, so they're getting old. So let's say um, the top 20 will get a wood medal. Um,
Oh, Lexi, you won! Congratulations.
cool.
Which is your username? I didn't know.
Um, so let's do top 20, get a party medal, and whoever ranks highest out of the folks who have a wombat skin gets. How many people do we have participating? We have two, Coins for Vince and Shiba Seeker. So that's gonna be two additional wood medals to the person who ranks the highest of all people using the skin.
Yeah.
Okay. Top 20. Let's go. So cool.
Oh, I see a grabfish. That's so cool. I don't see it anymore, but that was so cool.
Well, that's fairly new, isn't it?
Yeah, I saw
The
grabfish.
the grubfish skin. So I think Shiba Seeker is.
There's a shrimp over there. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean they keep releasing new skins all the time, right? And
No,
it's to
but
me it's impossible to keep up, but it's so cool. It's really so cool.
there's an
It
Spider-Man
it
fish.
should just be easier to change them, like so that they get reflected immediately and so on, right? So you could basically have a different one in every game. Cool. So GG's to Carlos, Prince Paradox, Mortal Wombats,
Crocus.
Zaber, Robot, Wonderways Toyson, Chervine, Kevin Kev, Ivanov, Nadu, RDD Stone, Busking, Lexi Lex, Wing Arctic Wolf, Jeff, Lucky Nino, Anzi, Chur, Autumn's Toys, and Yannicus. And actually, Shiva Seeker didn't make it into the top 20, but we'll get
Um,
two of those anyway. So GG's here to the top 20. Um, that's cool. That was fast and
Congratulations,
efficient.
guys.
I like that. We're getting rid of 20 more of these, 22
Why
more
do
of
you
these.
say it like that? You're getting rid. You're giving them away to the amazing
You
community
you
that we
have made them. That's why we need to get rid of them. um, and I know that people will get fed up with these wood medals at some point.
Yeah, like stop giving them away. No, no need to send your wax wallet, Pander. Lexi, I was curious. Who is your username on Twitter? On X. So, do you know that you cannot run giveaways on Twitter anymore with free tools? I had to pay $5 to do a giveaway.
It's Elon just
Oh.
trying to make money with the thing. Okay,
So actually,
folks.
this giveaway resulted more expensive than I thought. because wax is pumping. I mean, 5 cents.
Tried Bling again, but it didn't work. Still waiting to see Gold Wombat do its thing. Bling. Okay, I didn't know what the special feature of the gold one is. I need to start. Maybe I need to start watching Sasha's channel and participate with my cool golden wombat. Fragments are better than wood metals. Looking at the floor price, I would say no, but yeah. Okay, then
Risk.
it's
I
at
think
the
I
end of the
will
stream.
spend $10 to do the giveaway all over again. Then you're wrong. That giveaway, I won't do it again. I mean, I will keep doing them, but it hurts to pay $5 to do a simple giveaway.
Because it's value going not to the people.
Yes, exactly.
Bling shoots out coins apparently. Okay, so we need to talk to Pop Paragon about this. If it hurts, don't do it.
It's exactly what Adrian said. It doesn't hurt me to give away the wax. It hurts me that I am not giving it away the $5 to the community, but rather to a random company there. Twitter Picker is no longer available. So actually, I click on the site today, and they said that by October they receive a cease and desist from X, saying that they shouldn't make this tool available anymore. It was sad.
It's more of a question to Santiago than to myself. Adrian, can we get your thoughts on collection owners who requested the collection to have MP removed?
So the issue is we had one
Anyone want
collection.
that?
We had one collection who requested to remove their MP from starting this season. I do have to admit we need to make things more organized in the sense that if someone asks to remove their collection, then we should only do it after the season ends. I do think that the collection should keep their autonomy of either if they want to be in Dungeon Master or not. So if the collection I see you smiling.
Philosophically, I totally disagree with this. Right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you say that NFTs represent real ownership of their stuff, then we can do a poll, an interesting poll, if we should allow collections to the list from Dungeon Master. But there might be times in which there are collections that might be affected by their NFT being staked on Dungeon Master.
Totally, and there should be a discussion about this, right? I just think that overall, nobody can expect their NFTs not to be used elsewhere because they're NFTs inherently,
exactly.
Right? I think, but that's more of a philosophical discussion. The factual discussion is: do we do this collection a service or a disservice by having it in, and do we do our players a disservice if we remove it? Right, and so these are the two things that are the actual discussion, not kind of a philosophical should it be the case.
But I do think that we should either allow all collections owners to be able to be delisted or not allow any of them, even though the reason might be good or bad. It just should be something that they can do or they cannot do, because then you introduce the complexity of we having to determine if we should remove them or not.
Totally. Okay, I think we're around the end of it, so please let me know who you want to rate today. Who is it? Who shall we rate?
I disagree. I can find the post to Discord where that owner begged people to vote that collection in and then paid the people that voted in the collection. Yeah, that's right. I mean, so if he was very focused into getting in Dungeon Master, he must have his reasons to right now be delisted. And I know the reasons. I'm not anyone to judge if they are good or bad reasons, but he has his reasons. So if we do it, then we should allow everyone, or we shouldn't allow anyone. What we do think is that we should make it more organized, so these changes only happen during the end season.
Well, that's sure, and I think with the infamous creator portal, that would also be less of an issue, right? Yep. So we've got Las Vegas Ape being nominated without approval. and Tricky Creates being nominated without their approval. So I would lean towards rating somebody who we've never rated before, like Tricky Creates. I've never
We
heard
should
of
get
them.
tricky, yeah.
Um, so I don't know what's going on right now. Hourly Twitchy Tides. There's seems like there's somebody there, person. Um, so it's already some of our people over there. So maybe we'll rate Tricky Creates today, and we'll see about next week. Okay.
Good.
So um,
Thank you so much, guys, for showing up, doing the questions. This is one of my favorite parts of the week, being on stream and answering people.
that's nice. You should do it more often.
We could,
Okay.
yeah, we could make another stream in any other day. I like when Matt used to stream playing Tetris and so on.
I would love doing that as well as soon as I have the time. So right now I need to focus on other things.
24-hour stream with solar. I don't have the setup for it. It will be cool, but I don't have the setup.
So don't need setup for this. Okay. All right. Thanks everyone.
So he spills all the Spielberg secrets. I can
we'll
play
be
League of Legends. T-Rex can tell you how good of a League of Legends player I am. Yeah.
nice. All right. So we're rating. Oh, we are unable to rate Tricky Creates at this time. What's going on?
Counter-Strike. I do suck at Counter-Strike though.
Hey, we can't rate Tricky Creates. What?
Why?
Because I'm getting an error message. I'll try a third time.
Third is the charm.
Hang on. Is there any reason? Do I need to knock? No. Stupid.
Does something about the collection sidekick. Yeah, we will introduce a blend so you can get a new pack out of the sidekick.
So I'm getting an error trying to rate this. Tricky Creates. So I see that Prince Paradox has gone there asking. Yeah, so I'm trying. I can try with Las Vegas Ape and see whether we're getting the same error right now. Maybe there's something on our end. No, that's working. So it's just Tricky Creates. Yeah, Mortal Wombats has having the same issue.
Adrian, thanks for dropping the big hint earlier. What hint did you drop? Did I miss it?
Folks. Okay, we'll rate Las Vegas Ape and we'll try next week with Tricky Creates if he's online. Okay, because we can't spend hours on trying to rate somebody. So that's working. So let's get on. Say hello to Las Vegas Ape, and we'll try again next time. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Have fun with Las Vegas Ape. Have fun this week, and yeah, see you soon. Bye bye.
See you guys. Thank you. Are we done?